Today's seed is shine without shame, and we're going to be focusing on our core. Some things you're going to need today are, of course, a mat, a bolster if you have it. If not, please use a pillow, a rolled up blanket, and a block. So standing at the top of your mat in Tadasana, reaching up into upward salute, bending over with an exhale, hands come to shins or all the way down and half lift. Exhale down, hands come firmly to the mat, stepping back into plank. Holding this nice and strong, engaging your core already. Bring your right knee to your nose, right knee to your chin, right knee to your left elbow, and then right knee to your right elbow, back into plank. Same thing with your left knee, to forehead, to chin, to right elbow, and then to left elbow. Chaturanga down, come into upward facing dog, tuck your toes under and come into downward facing dog. Walking your feet out. This is our first down dog of the day. Making sure that your core is nicely engaged today. Step forward and then come into a cross-legged and come down into a boat position. So thumb is on the ground. And bring your arms back so you're hovering above the ground, and then pull up into boat using your core. Nice and slow as you come down and you hover. Hover down, and one more time, come up into a boat. So tucking your knees in, hugging them into your chest. Really think about that alignment that's taking you all the way from your tailbone to the top of your head. Tuck your right knee in close to your body and extend it out. Left knee in, extend it out. Right knee in, extend, left knee in, extend. Keep alternating. And then pretend you're pulling on a fake rowboat and you're pulling that rope back. Right arm comes back with your right leg and your left arm comes back with your left leg. Really engaging your entire core, so your back and your front, and you're pulling and releasing, pull and release, pull and release, pull and release. And then tuck in one more time, those knees in, your feet are hovering. Remembering that in order to really use our core and our gut instinct, we need to be aligned with all of the rest of our chakras. So slowly coming down into supine position, stretch your arms over your head. And then we're going to do some crunches. Right elbow to left knee, crunch, and then left elbow to right knee. Right to left and down, left to right and down. And when you come down, don't come all the way, you're still hovering, so you're still engaging your core. Although if you can't, go ahead and rest in between. Right to left and left to right. Make sure you're breathing as you're doing these. Reaching your arms way up and your legs way out. Slowly come all the way down to the ground. And rest. Coming on up to standing to the top of your mat, step your left foot back and come into Warrior One, nice and strong with your core. Twist this into Warrior Two, adjusting your feet, looking over your right fingertips, and then bringing your right hand down and left hand up, stretching forward using your core, and then switching it. Come back into Reverse Warrior with left arm down your left leg. So right arm down, looking up at your left. Left arm down, looking up at your right. And reverse. Facing forward, I'm going to come on down into standing split, engaging your core, trying to align your body. And then that left foot comes down. Take a hold of your block. Both feet are down first, making sure you're steady. And then holding your right foot flat on the ground, open up your body to the front of the room. Using your right hand for support on your block. Left hand rises up. And you're going to do 3 leg lifts here. And this entire movement, this entire opening in your leg lifts, everything is being done with your core. So nice and slow and steady and controlled. Left hand comes down, left foot comes down. Stretch your arms up into upward salute, stepping back into Warrior One with your right foot behind this time. Twist it into Warrior Two, adjusting your feet, looking over your fingertips. And your left hand is going to come down, looking up at your right arm, and then reverse warrior. And all of your movements are using your core. Left hand rises and down, and right hand rises down into reverse warrior. Left hand comes up and right hand comes up. And then you're going to turn your body to face the top of your mat and come down into standing splits, raising that foot with your stomach muscles. Take hold of your block, making sure you're nice and stable, bringing that foot down if you have to. Your left foot is down. Turn your body to the back of the room, opening into a half moon. 3 leg lifts. Every movement is done with the core. If you have to bend your knee to keep your stability, right hand comes down to your block. Right leg comes down. Firmly take hold of the block with 2 hands. Your fingers are wrapped around the sides of the block, so there's no chance of it tipping. Extend your right leg back and tuck, and back and tuck your knee into your chest and extend it back out. Tuck and extend, and you're going to do 7 of these. Tuck and extend, thinking about alignment, thinking strong. Your core is what really gets you moving, gets you from one place to the other. Other side, so tuck and extend. Tuck that knee into the chest and extend it out. Nice and straight and strong. Seven of them. Good. Both feet planted firmly on the ground. Hands come down to the ground. Step back into plank. Chaturanga down. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet if you need to. So making sure your hands are planted nice and firmly, so all your fingers and the 4 corners of your palms planted, and you're going to jump forward into a little burpee and then back into downward facing dog. 3 times. Jump forward into a burpee, back into downward facing dog. chaturanga down from plank, upward facing dog, and then we're going to come back into child's pose. So this time really opening up our knees and trying to bring our stomach all the way down to the ground. So resting our stomach on the ground, feeling the earth if we can. Head is rested on your arms. Come on up, bring your knees together. And then come down into a child's pose again with arms extended out and knees together. Rise up, opening up your arms like you're catching a ball, and then back down. Little piece of heaven, rise up, open up like you're catching the moon with your hands, and back down. Knees come down to the stomach each time. And you're rising and falling with your core. You're bowing with your core. And you're making it beautiful with your arms. Rise up. Hold the moon and come back down. Rise up, catch the moon, and back down. Rise up again. And bow down using your core. Coming into tabletop position. Extend your hips over to the left side for a nice body stretch, and then over to the right side, full body stretch. Back into tabletop, and then bring your hands together in prayer. Elbows are bent, and come into a plank. And you're going to hold this plank here. And this is actually a good position for people who have issues with their wrists, if they can't do downward facing dog. So push yourself up into a modified downward facing dog, where you're not using your wrists, you're using your entire forearm. And push back into downward facing dog, and then hover again in plank. Each time using your core, pushing your tailbone up to the sky. You can do this down on your knees as well, just slightly modified, pushing back into Anatanasana, or you can do it coming all the way up with knees off the ground. Think about all the muscles you're using here as you push back into downward facing dog, so that tailbone comes up, and then hover forward. Nice and controlled. Every movement is controlled. Keeping that lower back strong. Never compromising that. Knees come down to the ground. Nice big stretch and thunderbolts. Bring your left foot forward. You can do a nice stretch with a straight leg, and then come into a deep low lunge, raising your arms up into crescent moon and down. And again, all done with the core. We're going to do 7 of these on each side. So opening up, catching the world, and back down. Every movement with the core. So allowing that stretch to take place in your sacral area as you use your muscles as well. This is what gets you up. It protects your lower back. So using your core for rising, opening, and coming back down. Hands are planted firmly on the ground. Hovering again, hands together in prayer. Whatever plank works for you, can bring your knees down if that's better for you. and hold this, making sure everything is still engaged, making sure though you're not compromising your lower back. Coming back into kneeling position. Right leg comes forward this time. You can straighten it and do a little stretch. And then a deep low lunge. Arms rise up. Making sure that you're stable on the ground, so whether that means tucking your toes under in the back or keeping them flat, tucked is more stable for me. Because you want this to be completely controlled so that you can use your core muscles to lift you. And down. Rise up, open, and breathe, and exhale down. Lift with your core, and you can use your hands here to even help with your imagination of the lifting and the releasing. Come back into a plank. Chaturanga down. Upward facing dog. Tuck your back toes under and come into downward facing dog. Look forward between your hands. Jump or step forward between your hands. Half lift. Exhale down, rise up into upward salute, and come into Tadasana. You can pause the video here and find your position against a wall. So bolster is tucked under your lower back. Your neck is supported with a blanket. Feet are on the wall, knees are bent. And you're going to come up using your lower core, pulling yourself up and then down. Lift and down, lift and down. If you're feeling pressure on your neck, readjust your feet. Either come closer or further away from the wall. So different things that you can do, because this isn't about using your neck. This is about using your pelvic area and those lower core muscles. And you can do this with the bolster or without. You can come down a little bit further when the bolster is not there. But again, just be sure that you're using the right muscles and you're not putting any strain on your neck. And you're going to do 20. Coming all the way down. Grabbing a more solid little rolled up blanket or towel, tuck it right under your tailbone. And we're just going to do a little bit of massage here for our lower tailbone. Now that we've done so much work down there, it's really important. So opening up your legs in a V. And just resting here for a moment. Allowing your feet to come down as far as is comfortable for you. If it's not very far, that's okay. Back up to the top, bending your knees. Feet come together down really close to your body, right to the bottom of the wall. And allow your knees to fall open to the sides, like a butterfly. It's a beautiful release for the lower sacral area. Feet come back to the wall, rolling side to side on your firm blanket. Massage out those muscles that we worked today. And now from here, you can do whatever you feel you might need with left. Happy baby, you can take hold of your big toes and just enjoy again that lower back massage. Or you can go a little bit further, putting your feet against the wall and pushing your lower back up. Elbows tuck in close under your body, and then take hold of your hips and hold up with your hips, hold your body up with your hips. And again, you can open your legs here in this position, allowing them to fall open in different directions. And this is completely optional. If you're feeling any strain on your neck, don't do this. You don't have to do it. Bring your feet back to the wall. Gently come down, removing that blanket from underneath. And then you're going to bring your bum really close to the wall. So tucking down, scooching down and pulling your blanket down with you so that your blanket stays in behind your neck and your head. This is a wonderful position if you are suffering from headaches or migraines, and I feel like it's often because it helps us make that good decision when we're completely aligned. And if you can see in this position, our lower back and our core all the way up to our head are together. So you can finish off your Shavasana in this position. And you're welcome to stay in this position for your entire meditation today. It feels really good. Otherwise, come into a seated position or whatever works for you today. Making sure that you've got proper support so that you can be aligned, so that your spine is aligned, your core is nice and strong now, so it can hold you up even stronger in alignment, which is so significant for our seed today, which is shine without shame. So taking some nice deep breaths into that deep stomach area, and then deep release as well. So in nice and strong, just feeling your belly and your solar plexus filling right up, and then let it all out, letting it all go, and feel what it feels like to let go. And this chakra, more than any other chakra, needs us to meditate, because it's the one that really needs us to put our ego and our own ideas aside and take some time to listen. So to shine without shame on our journey to reaching our goal, it's every step we take shouting to the world, I'm here to act and do. And they say that humans can make up to 35,000 choices in a day, which is a tremendous amount of choices. So that means that we have 35,000 opportunities to shine in our lives or to bring about shame. Shame is defined as a painful feeling of humiliation or distress that is caused by a conscious choice. So a consciousness of wrongdoing or foolishness, to foolish behavior. So it's when we do something and we know it's foolish. And yet we're really hard on ourselves as well. Sometimes we don't know. Sometimes we're doing the best we can. But sometimes we do know better. And often it's not our minds that say you knew better. It's our gut. So today, in order to our light to remain bright, this chakra is asking us for full success, for complete success, to act without shame. So to check in with our gut, like checking your rear view mirror. And when you're driving, you're focusing on the road, you're focusing on all the other cars around you, you're checking your gut, because we're here on earth to act and do. And we're going to make mistakes. But why do we carry so much shame? Perhaps it's because of the constant bombardment from the media and the outside world, which creates a lack of listening to our inner wisdom and our voice, leaving us with a constant feeling of discontent. It can be very confusing in this world when we stop listening to ourselves and we stop taking that time out to meditate, or we don't do our gut check, or we don't listen to our gut, because there's so much wisdom there. The goal is for you to shine in every possible way without shame. And so this means that your inner light shines not only enough for you to clearly see right from wrong, but it also can become a beacon for others. It requires you to be brave enough to do what's right. And right is what you know in your gut. And if you're having that question or you're hesitating, it's giving yourself permission to step away and say, I'm not ready to make this decision right now. Until your gut says that it's okay. This may involve disappointing someone else. And so it requires you to be brave and confident enough to disappoint and to let down. And to look like a failure, even though eventually by following your gut, you will not fail. Because you did what you believed to be right. You were making a conscious choice to do right. And it's interesting that this description of shame is painful. Well, how many of us have digestive issues and pain in our stomachs? So that's not only about from making choices of what we're putting in our mouths, but it's everything that's going on there, because this is where we digest and process and act. This is the actions. We're not just thinking about it. And again, this is really important to be going back to all the other seeds and listening and asking them for guidance, because they will tell you what's right or wrong for you. Our solar plexus is where many of our sympathetic nervous system nerve endings come together. And this is what tells us if we should fight or flight or freeze. So if you're living in pain in this area, your body cannot function properly. If you're questioning everything you're doing, you're going to get blockages. You're going to get pain. So make a promise to your entire body that when you feel this pain, whether it's food choice or decision making, that you will step back and reevaluate. When you don't, you become sluggish and you lose trust in yourself. So keeping your physical core strong with our movement helps to solidify and be the reminder of our inner core and how it needs to be strong. So take some time today to just get rid of all of the voices. And for now, just let it all be. And this is the first step into working towards self-mastery, is knowing what it feels like to be neutral. So that when something comes across to you that you do have to make a decision and you want to continue to keep your light shining bright without shame, without the shadow of shame, you know what it feels like to be neutral. So thank you for joining me today in this amazing practice. And I hope you can go forward in your day and shine without shame, and realize that this is a very important seed for success, is not needing to dim your own light to offer the illusion that somebody else's is shining brighter. Continue to do your intellectual research with your mind, and then constantly check in with your gut as well, because if it doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. If it doesn't make sense, if there's no common sense in it, then you gotta listen to that. And let this light become a beacon of light or a torch for others as well.